Like I want to make this based on even with myself, so I can set a good example of like how I understand this process. So like I still catch myself like when I'm partying, like I'm not a 42 years old Helen. Like I might be 18 for so many different reasons. Or when I go still like in some certain personal relationship, like how I react, like I don't see myself a 42 years old woman is reacting. I see myself like this was a reaction of a kid that it just got upset and I just now do want to shut the door and it just like act on it and go back. So this is so ongoing. So even proves to me is like with even whatever work that I have done, that means I still need to sit here. And it says, okay, I still watch this pattern. I still see this character jump out when it is under so much pressure. So it's like, take a note. I need to continue my self-improvement. I need to continue like using apps or having another even sets of therapists or using your app and your tools in order how to maintain and control those pop-up characters out of myself.
Part of the concept that we go through is when that part of you shows up is because it is triggered. And when it's triggered, it triggers a particular belief system about herself. So we want to know what you believed about yourself at that time. How did you feel at that time? And what were your needs at that time? Right?
Yeah.
So at that time, you had a need that wasn't being fulfilled.
Correct.
But then I also want to look at the Helen that was there who survived that game. She was also using some strategies. And we go back into those memories and look at what strategies were you using, powerful strategies you were using. Yes, you were vulnerable. Yes, you felt powerless. Yes, you had all of these emotions and you never want to be powerless again. So you're,
yes. Walking away, my top one strategy is I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm gone.
Yes. So that's a coping mechanism you created. But there's a strength that of detachment that came with that. So I want you to take that and put it in the strength pile. Even as a young person, you thought, I don't need you. I can survive on my own. This is a power.
Oh my God.
That is power.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I want you to own that power, Helen. I want you to own that power. Wow. That at every moment, I can be autonomous if I need to. A lot of times I don't want to. I want to be interconnected with other people, but that means I have the power to be autonomous.
Yeah.
Exercising that power when it's needed and not as a reaction, right? Now it became a reaction. But if you own the power, you don't need to react. You just see, do I want to or I don't want to, right?
Yeah.
So as we keep going to that memory, we can still look at what else was going on that was powerful. How did I assess? How did I, talk? How did I do all of these things? I'm out of here, right?
Yes.
So there are pieces of that you could look at and say, wow, like, thank you.
Yes.
For being so powerful then. Thank you for surviving that. Thank you for coming from your future and telling you, hey, girl, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here. We are here today the way we are because you survived that. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Right? And I don't want to stay separate. And whatever your needs are, let's look at our other parts. Did we fulfill these needs? Can we fulfill these needs now that we know that we're older and we have access to skills? We can fulfill our own need. So this way you can kind of get integrated and dismantle the belief system.
Yes.
Dismantle the belief system, the triggers don't show up anymore. Like with therapy, with many of the other therapies, your best you could do is to catch yourself after you're half in it. Like you're already behaving, you're yelling and screaming, you're already like rejecting, and then you're like, what am I doing? You already say, I'm out of here, close the door, slam the door and leave. And then you're like, what did I just do? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
half of the time you catch yourself in the middle of the behavior of the trigger, and then you want to, clean it up. With awareness integration therapy, our focus is dismantling the belief, so the trigger doesn't even show up.
Yes. Oh, okay. I like that. I like that. I started with, I want to give you this example. Tell me what you think. I started with like the moment I want to walk away and I have like no more desire to be in contact with you, I force myself, because this was a survival mechanism for me. I forced myself to sit there and I was like, want to dissect like what happened, to go through more communication with that person, to just face it, to just sit there and be uncomfortable and listen to all the things that person wants to tell me, and then reasoning with them like, no, that's not how I feel, or that's not what I said, or that's not how I like I feel you're treating me. So what do you think about this, for example, this is strategy?
I think that you're doing amazing. The only thing I would like to add to what you're doing is, when you're sitting there, imagine how you want this relationship to be. And do the things toward that. You're going to blame and defensiveness and offensiveness. Just go right into listen. Halt. Listen. I don't care who did what. My proposition is that the quality of relationship that I'm requesting is this. I'm committing myself to do that. And if I haven't done that, I apologize to myself and to you. Now, this is the type of a relationship that I'm requesting. Is this okay with you? And can we, get aligned with this or negotiate? So you see, catch yourself, but there's no need now to keep going defending your behaviors. It's like, done. Now what do I want? And you go toward the space of your desire and your goal. And you start with that and you put that on it. And then it stops the communication of even the other person trying to defend or attack and saying, no, it was your fault, you did it first, and I'll do it if you promise to do it first. We're kindergarten again. Now we don't need to do that. You're you're a powerhouse, you're a power woman. Just once in a while, look at your resume, look at your habits, look at the thing.
Update your resume.
Yeah, like look at that and see, oh, hey, I can do this. Another thing is, you have acquired a lot of amazing skills in your career. Transfer those to your relationships.
Yes. Like at some point I was thinking about it. I'm like why these two? Like, because in a business, you can't hurt me. Okay. I'm like, you can't offend me. Well, right now in a personal, you can offend me too. Like you can't, like I don't get disrespected or this and that. But like I want to move like 4 years ago, still this was very, very common because I was still getting like insulted or this and that. So at work, I had this very hard facade that I'm like, just bring the problem. I am the one who can solve it. I have that mentality that nothing can hurt me. I'm right here to solve problem. I'm here to just make it work. And it just, what is it? Let's sit down and solve it. But when I was going home in a personal level, I was like vulnerable. Like I will take things personally. Like I will think like, I'm really good at work and I'm business, but what is my worth in personal level?
You at work are a creator or a generator. You have a vision and you don't allow any obstacle to take that vision away. You hold the vision and you look at the obstacles that come as just challenges to, clear in order to uphold your vision. If you create an amazing vision for your relationship, you will do exactly the same. all of these are obstacles around getting to that vision. Then you can negotiate, you can communicate, you can do all of it because you have that vision about the outcome of your relationship.
Okay, question then.
Like share with you before you do that?
Yes.
The way you're sharing with me that you are in a relationship, it's not your vision. You become this person who the other person runs. Take ownership of your relationship. You're part owner of that. Upfront, negotiate. I'm sure you have partners maybe in relationship. Upfront, you negotiate, the contract is clear. Upfront, you negotiate with your partner. This is the relationship that I require or want. Are you up to this? Can we do this? Can we negotiate on this?
Yeah.
Can we back into an actual contractual concept in our heart and in our head?
Yeah.
And if they agree, then you guys uphold that kind of a mission and a vision. Every one of your companies have a mission and vision, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Relationship can have a mutual mission and a vision where both of you are committed to uphold this mission and vision, and anything that comes through is just an obstacle.
Yeah.
They come to you, got to clear it.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. Yeah. Because when I go home, let's say the 5-year-old goes home, I forgot the skills that I have at work. And you said a very important thing, like connecting these two worlds, connecting this, which that's why I was like, oh, there is so many things that you said in the middle, and I was like, oh, yes, connecting these two. So these two can communicate together, these informations. So it's like definitely very important key and factor like in like someone's life just like me.
And the neuroplasticity of our brains starts connecting these neurons because you've did all of these neurons that go, fire up when you're at work as if that's the habitual pattern. And then you have these other neurons that fire up another way because that's your. So what we do in awareness integration, we start connecting. And that's when you see all of these skills gets connected and you have access to all of them wherever you are.
Very nice. I want to ask you one more question. Because I interview also lots of entrepreneurs. So some of them do self-improvement, some of them don't. What do you think about what is your identity? Is your identity, is it what you do, what you achieved, or your identity is like how you feel inside? So, or is it these two or a combination of these two, your identity? What is it? How about if everything is taken away from you, then who you are?
Right. Identity is not something that is solid. Identity is something that is unfolding every day. There is no solid. Like there's you open this head and there's a little Foojan over there that makes there's no real like solid identity. Identity is a combination of our belief systems. And so then it turns into, those belief systems turns into emotions and behaviors and the patterns that we create with our belief systems and actions. These create our identity. Emotions are like waves. They come and go. Emotions are just like, I call them like the lights on your car. The light shows up and says, do something. There's something going on here. Do something. Or all the lights are on and it's all calm and says all checks, system check, go. So when you are in peace and you are in gratitude and you are in love and content and all that, it's like you go into your car and the whole thing lights up and it's like, oh, system check, go. All else. And then sometimes, there's an oil or a tire or whatever, and then this particular lamp comes up. Check something. Check the tire. Check the engine. Those are the other emotions. Fear comes up, anxiety comes up, sadness comes up, shame comes up, anger. Those are just saying, somehow our system is not in a homeostasis. Something's going off balance. Check. That's all that emotions are doing. So it's important to see them. It's important to feel them. It's important to name them. It's important to get the message from them. You're not supposed to run your life. They do. However, because what they do first is they take the stimulus from outside, they take the data from outside and immediately go, danger to my survival, or oh, pleasure. Oh, no, pain, danger to my survival. Oh, pleasure. So the first thing that the body does is takes in that information and has an emotion about it. The emotion, again, it's a signal. That's all it is. And then our every sense is also attached to our reasoning and backup data. So looks at this, oh, is this really a snake, which I should run away from, survival? Or no, this is just a fake snake for a party.
I see.
And fun, right?
I see.
Then at that moment, our brain comes in and assesses. Our frontal cortex comes in and assesses whatever it is. And then based on the information and our frontal cortex and logic and wisdom, we have an action. And the only thing I brought in to take this automatic thing is I put intention before action.
Okay.
Right? So emotion
intention before action. Okay, got it.
And emotion comes, logic analyzes, and now automatically on someone who's not aware and not conscious really, they just automatically behave based on all the recordings we've done as we grew up. All I'm adding in the awareness integration is I put intention. I got the information, my emotions are telling me, my logic is telling me, wisdom is telling me. Now what do I want to create with this information? What the world is giving me? Based on that intention, I do my behavior and act upon it to get a particular result.
Okay.
Right? So at the time you could say, this person is fighting with me. My emotions are hurt. I am fearful, and I'm also angry, and I feel shame because of the way that they're talking to me. My brain says, this is a relationship I've been in. I like him, but I don't like these things. Now, on a normal way, I would just come back and defend myself and attack. This game of defend.
Yes. Yeah.
Bring intention in. The intention says, well, yes, we're both playing a game here, but what do I really want in this relationship? I want love. I want, kind of clear communication. I want us to foster understanding and acceptance. That's what I want. Great. Now act that way. And immediately you're like, you know what? I get it that we're upset with each other. And I apologize for hurting you if there's any way that I intentionally or unintentionally have hurt you. And I just want the peace. Now let's move toward how we could create this together. And these are some of my thoughts about this. What are your thoughts? Let's put them all on the table and let's move forward with each other. So you can see, go ahead and continue the defense and attack. Or you can come back and look at it from, hey, what do I want? Let me first create it.
Correct. I like what you said about the identity, and I like how you went to like sitting there and then changing the dynamic of your communication in the relationship. Now I want to ask you, so still is this is a combination of this, like adding based on your communication, based on your like unfolding your identity. How do you give value to yourself? How do you know you're valuable? How do you know you're valuable enough to start loving yourself?
Those are I'm going to split them to two different things. You are valuable. I won't even call it enough. You're valuable just as a human being that shows up. Every being on the face of the earth, every plant, everything is valuable. So if you look at, this isn't about just you, it's about every angle of life is valuable. Even your toys are valuable. So everything is
That's
valuable.
beautiful. I like how you said it.
So that's one thing. The second part is the concept of you loving you is a fundamental aspect, because loving you is the essence of it's what it all starts from.
Mm-hmm.
Your body will react to you not loving yourself or loving yourself. You when you love yourself, you flourish. Imagine a plant. If you don't give it water, sun, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you give it water, the sun, the whole climate, it flourishes. A tree gives you fruit. So if you take away all that is part of your flourishing, which is taking care of your body with nutrition, exercises, sleep, taking of your psyche with the love and acceptance and motivating and, rewarding yourself. These are the things that makes you flourish. If you don't give to yourself that, you're not going to flourish. What about everybody else? Although we learned this from parents, the way they've given it to us, ultimately, we're responsible for us.
Yeah.
The more that we come back into, regardless of our parents, they did what they knew. Now that I know, stop blaming the world and start giving this to yourself. So this concept of love and value, it's like it's the seed that creates you as a human being. And that's the only way that as a human being, you're going to survive and flourish. So that's a must. It's not an if and then, or let me do this before I do that. The other part is, how do you know you're valuable to the outside world? Because this is just you and you. Then is how
this part is like so important. I don't want to hear so carefully. Just tell me. And then I want to tell you my input.
How do you know you're valuable to the world? Listen. If you listen to what people want, if you listen clearly to who people are and value them and love them, you'll see that you will have a presence for them. You want to know how valuable you are? Ask 20 people around you, what do they see in you? I did this exercise once. It was amazing. I got, from 25 people, they wrote to me of how they saw me as valuable to the community and how they saw me valuable in their life. They wrote things for me that I would have never guessed. Check reality. Check reality by just...
Can I give a very bad example right now? I was in a fanatic Muslim community until I was like 9 years old, and I was the worst person. So, I was a prostitute, I was a whore, you name it, I was. So is that a really valid way of seeking out how other people think of you?
No, because I think that the people that I'm asking you to look at is that you ask 25 people around you who are your friends and family or co-workers.
Sometimes those friends and family are not really your friends and family. And I know people are stuck in my situation. So that's why I want to be that voice. Yes. Not always people are going to approve of you, yes, but you still have value.
Yes, you ask 2 questions.
Yes.
First question is, what do you see a value in me? The second,
that's a good one.
The second question is, what is it that in your world you want me to be different? Now you split this. So the way they want you to be different than them, they don't want you to be different than them, and they want you to be similar, they will write it in the second one. I want you to be a fanatic Muslim. I want you to wear a chador. I want you to do this, and that's how you need to do. But because you split this, you also get the other part. that if they're looking at you and having an opinion about you, for some reason you matter. And you're like, well, thank you for giving me even the time that I matter to even think about me that way. But if I split the question, I get it that you want me to be different. How would you see me as valuable even that you even want me to be different? Like, how do you think if I put the chador and come into your community, I would be valuable to your community? Because obviously they have to see some value in you. Yeah. They would say, no, don't come to our community. Go to another community. Go to the community. Don't even come here. Correct. So even this urge to say, come back, is because you hold value. So you ask, even if I change myself to be exactly the way you want me to be, what value do you think I'm bringing to your life, to your community? And they tell you the value they see.
I'm trying to grasp it, analyze it.
If you have people around you, it's because you have valuable to them. People don't need to be around you if they don't see you as valuable.
True.
There's 8 billion people on the face of the earth. So if people are coming to you, it's because they see you valuable. You're not the only one on the earth. If they don't see that, they'll just move on to the next person, 8 billion, to take care of themselves.
Can you, Elizabeth, talk about, is it really others?
Hold on. Did you take that in?
I'm like, so I'm taking it in, but I'm waiting for the second question because I want to. And then when I tell you my past, maybe a little bit, it will allow you to see where I'm coming from. It's not 100% in yet. 1 second, what I was going to ask. I was going to ask. 1 second.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. No, of course. If you are clear with yourself and you live in a community that they don't approve you, but you know your own intention, and then you come to a point and you're like, I live here, but I literally I'm disagreeing with everybody. And even if they're telling me my values are based on how I'm pretending to be like them, but I'm not really like them. Like, I had to sit back and I'll just think about really what are my values, like if I'm really worth it or not, because based on the value that they were giving me, I had no values.
Yeah, but you're putting two things together. You're taking value and worth and put it together, and they're
okay. Like let's have. Can I combine them together? Can we combine them, or they can't be?
Can't be. Worth is you're always worthy.
I'm always worthy. You know, like so many people. They ask me this question: how do you give yourself value? How do you know you're worth it?
Yeah, but the topic that you're sharing is the worthiness and the valuableness. If you look around and do reality check, you do reality check. Okay, so I might give you this water bottle, and this might hold a subjective value to you, but it might only be $5. But this might give you, like, this might mean millions to you because somebody who was dear to you gave it to you, you know? So value is subjective. Also, you could look at reality check.
I see what you're saying.
That's a different concept. But the moral values that you say are different than this value. Okay? Then you're like, a community says that we uphold these values. And you're not upholding these values. That value is different than the worth value. Saying we uphold a certain beliefs, a certain rituals, a certain values that we say you will be a good human being if you follow these.
Yes.
Yeah. That you may not agree with. And then you have to make a decision that whether I want to negotiate somehow to be in this scenario because I'm gaining something, or no, I'm losing myself and I need to get out of the community.
Okay.
That's a choice.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's a choice. Because I know a lot of people in very, very orthodox, whether they're Jewish or Christian or Muslim or very orthodox families, which they don't believe in it the same way that everybody does. But they won't come out of the community because they get so much more out of the community. So they feel like, all right, I'll just play along because that doesn't matter. It matters to me. They'll just go along with it, whatever. And they have their benefits in other realm. They have value in other pieces. People will be like, no, the whole thing has no benefit for me, has no value for me. And it's killing who I am.
Correct. Okay.
Get out.
Now it's sinking. Yes.
Because this is where the collapse was. You know, collapsing my valuableness versus the world, each culture holds a value system. The value system is different than am I worthy and valuable?
Yeah. I didn't want to fall into that value system. Okay. So for me, I questioned the value system. I questioned how they valued me. So then how I'm supposed to value myself. And it became no value for myself. So I just want to be brave enough to know that I'm going to be all alone and I'm going to walk out and I'm going to lose everything, but I'm going to do it for the value that I see in me.
Yes. And it's only transitional because then you're going to find another community which you can
100%. But people, they don't know it right there when they need to walk out, because walking out, you walk in darkness. You walk into unknown. You have no idea what's going to be happening to you. But it's almost like living in the multi-dimensional reality. You're just walking from this dimension to another dimension, which you haven't seen it yet, but it exists and is right there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you so much for doing a therapy on me.
This was just a good conversation together.
I love it.
Allowing me in. And I just want everybody to know, if you want to be, contact me.
We're going to be putting all your information at the bottom of our podcast with your information about your app, how to contact you. Everything will be there. Awesome. So it's like, hey, everyone. So I just went through a couple of examples of like how important is for you to get to know yourself, to know your triggers, to know what bothers you, so you can become your better version of yourself. And here's are the resources like Dr. Foojan. Thank you so much for being with us at Femme Fatale by Helen. Hopefully we see you soon again.
Love to. Anytime, Helen.
Thank you.
And bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.